Good afternoon, hello, and welcome to the Omni Coalition News Show, also known as TOCNS, TOCNS. The show is an amalgam of strange, weird, bizarre, off-the-wall, and otherwise things you don't normally see anymore from most news sources these days. During a time of political overabundance and divisiveness, we present you with more unifying topics to discuss, for the most part. For links to the articles, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar in the description below. Anyway, I am Aoxander, and I might be joined by Carrara or Sohan, or both, at some point relatively soon. Anyway, today is Moon's Day, also known as Monday, October 17th, 2022. So let's start us off here from Rebel News. Ron DeSantis ranks number one in approval rating and survey over major U.S. politicians. Well, that's not surprising. A survey conducted by the Center for American Political Studies, CAPS, at Harvard University and the Harris Poll found that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis ranks number one for the highest net approval rating among all major U.S. politicians. The survey, which was conducted earlier in October, asked respondents to rate the top political figures in the U.S. in degrees ranging from very favorable to very unfavorable. It also provided the option for survey takers to say they never heard of them or had no opinion. As detailed by the Daily Wire, the politicians ranked in order were DeSantis plus 6, former Vice President Mike Pence plus 4, South Carolina Republican Senator Tim Scott plus 3, former President Donald Trump 0, Senator Bernie Sanders at 0, Senator Ted Cruz 0, former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo negative 3, Joe Biden negative 8, Senator Kristen Sinema negative 9, and so on and so forth. As you can see, there's more to read here. The links to this and all the other articles that we will be reading are in the underbar. Anyway, I have noticed that we have been joined by the Carrara.
Hello, guys.
Welcome to the show.
What's up, man? Sorry it took me a little while.
Hey, it's all right. You know, you had a lot to do, so that's understandable.
Let me get into your stream so I can watch, see what's going down. Got my Google open, my Googles.
All right. Nice. Yeah, that was literally just the first article, so we're just into the show right now.
Let me see. What was the article, real quick? Or just kind of look at it.
It was Ron DeSantis ranks number one in approval rating and survey over major U.S. politicians. So,
okay.
Countrywide, he is the number one out of everybody. You know, like in any state, in any demographic.
Wow.
Like, yeah, and he's got my vote too. So.
Yeah. Have you read up on anything about Beto?
Not yet, although we actually have an election here coming soon. Dad's been going through the stuff in the booklet we get, and we also got our mail-in ballots, but we're not going to do that crap. We're going to physically go in on the first day of voting, the way everybody's supposed to do, and, cast our ballot physically, because we're old school like that. So.
And show your ID.
Yes. Get yourself scanned.
Make sure they know it was really you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And not some dead guy somehow voting.
Yeah. That opens up a whole nother conversational can of worms right there.
Yeah, for real.
But let's move on.
Yeah, not getting there. Let's go.
Let's move on. More from Rebel News. Elon Musk expresses alarm over Ukrainian kill list. So, this is news to me. Elon Musk expressed concern over the weekend of his apparent inclusion in a Ukrainian kill list called Myrotovorches, following his calls for the Zelensky government in Kiev to parley with its Russian counterparts and build a road to peace. So someone has a hit on him now. It sounds like.
Not good for him.
Yeah, pardon me. It says here, late Friday, the Tesla CEO responded to a viral tweet by independent journalist Eva Bartlett, which showed a screenshot of his brief addition to the so-called kill list, which includes the names of thousands of Russian figures and numerous Western figures unfriendly to the Ukrainian government.
I didn't actually know he was against the Ukraine.
Oh yeah, no, like he hates the whole Ukraine thing. He actually, like he was talking about. Now this is from what I've heard. Initially, he was going to shut down Starlink. Like Starlink, right?
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. He put it up for them.
Yeah. Well, and for Australia and places around the world, but he was going to specifically shut down Ukraine's coverage because they weren't going to be able to afford it. And then apparently they're saying, "Oh fuck it, we're just going to keep running it. We'll foot the bill." So I don't know what's going on, but the president of Ukraine apparently had told Elon Musk to go fuck himself. Apparently, more or less, like not in those words maybe, but you know. So
That
I don't know what's going on.
the political shit behind this is really confusing because he turned on Starlink for them to help them be able to communicate.
Yeah, but at a
And
time where
that
they were
doesn't
paying the bill, though, somebody's got to pay the bill, so they were paying it, and
he
then
said it was doing it for free though. That's what
huh?
I remember. Like he said that they're going into war with somebody who could take potentially just kill everybody
Yeah,
and they needed help. So that's what I'd have to look this up, but that's what I remember seeing on the libertarian what's it called? Ah,
the Discord server, or
my buddy actually wrote the story,
oh,
so
the article.
mhm.
So if you have another news source that you know of, I'd be happy to have that as well for future
Yeah,
news.
I'll Google it here in a bit when you're getting closer to, and then we can, if you want to link it for everybody.
Yeah, but it says here from Eva Karen Bartlett. Her tweet says Musk added to Ukraine's Myro Tavorit's kill list, which includes 327 children. So what the hell? So I've been speaking
I
and
don't.
writing about.
I don't. I mean, even if you don't like Musk, I don't believe that shit. The
Yeah, no, like
327 children,
well, yeah, like well,
because
whatever this list Musk is now on, that list as well includes 327 children. So Ukraine wants children dead. So this is really bizarre. I can't stand with Ukraine. So, but anyway, let's move on up here to another article, more from Rebel News. Boston University develops new COVID strain with 80% lethality, raising ethical questions about the research. Yeah? Why the fuck are we doing this? Like,
are you? Is this a credible fucking news source? I'm just
I hope
wondering.
not, but like, it
I
says here,
mean,
researchers at Boston University have developed a new strain of COVID-19 that has an 80% kill rate on mice infected with it. The mutant variant, which was developed as a hybrid of Omicron and the original strain from Wuhan, was exposed to rodents in the laboratory at Boston University. According to other researchers, when a similar group of rodents were exposed to the standard Omicron strain, every mouse survived and experienced only mild symptoms. Researchers also infected human cells with the deadly variant, and finding it 5 times more infectious than Omicron. Fuck. This is not good. Like, watch, it's going to be accidentally released. Just watch. Like,
um,
Boston. Wow, yeah, here we go.
everything's always accidental.
Yeah. Or like the same thing with that center owned and controlled by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in central
Yeah.
Mexico that released the Zika virus and caused widespread birth defects, and like potentially almost an entire year generation of no children. You know, that's horrifying. Like they're trying to sterilize us, man.
Well, that wasn't that the they found out that they were doing that in Africa?
Wasn't that AIDS?
No, you know how he's like hardcore about what's it called?
Ebola?
No,
Uh,
dude,
West Nile virus?
vaccinations,
Oh yeah.
and they were just darting them like they were just darting people. It was kind of one of those sources where you're like,
So they were like literally like running after them with like blow darts or like, you know.
dart guns. They were just hitting people,
I
and
remember hearing something about that a couple of times actually over the past several
that
years. Like it's one
that
of
was
those vague
like
things, like ambiguous.
it. I heard about it in '07 is when I heard about it.
Dang, yeah. Yeah, this is horrifying. So
That's I mean Jesus though, like they're really putting a lot on like the Ukraine right now. Like I don't know, man. I feel like the Ukraine is the victims here.
I don't know. Like, because see, very much like, well, because right now it's being called the modern day Cuban Missile Crisis. Very much like that crisis, it was started from, I have to, acknowledge it was aggression from the West. The reason why they were putting missiles on Cuba was because we already had missiles on their border in Turkey. So it was a reactionary. Very same thing in Ukraine. We had all of these chemical, like not weapons, but like chemical testing facilities and all that stuff. And we've been saying since like what 2009 that oh yeah we're going to clean that up and get out of there. Well, they're still operating to this day. Well, not right now, but like a year or so ago before the invasion, but right on their
Right.
border. So
Right.
like you know, it's an impossibility to pick a side because you know Russia has valid claims. Not claims to the land, but claims for invasion. To, like at least go in there and destroy these facilities. You know, but then like now they're annexing land and everything, and at the
Right.
same time Ukraine it's there's a lot of involvement. Like there's something involving John Kerry there. There's a lot of stuff involving the Bidens. Like there's money laundering allegations. There's all sorts of things going on. And like this whole war is just a giant cover up. You know, like I don't know. Like it's just nuts. Like it's just absolutely nuts. I don't get anything of it. And then like all this happened, and then while all this was happening, the whole Elon Musk Twitter thing started going off. So it's like, oh hey, why are they distracting us from Ukraine now? And then now we're back
Well, I
to
mean,
Ukraine. So
it's the same thing that like when the Freedom Act was signed, they had the huge Super Bowl thing, debacle, and which immediately took away from everyone was worried about that and Deflategate and all that bullshit, football. Um, when the Patriot Act was signed, it was signed in the middle of the night as well, and something happened. I think at the it was the Super Bowl thing with Justin Timberlake and pulling her thing out and showing her boob. Janet Jackson.
oh yeah, that one.
So
Which
all
like
this stuff, there's
obviously that was staged. You know,
always something that seems to just keep us
distracted. You know,
distracted from what's happening.
it's
And
like
I don't.
as soon as the public starts getting like starts actually figuring out what's really going on, they're like, ooh look, jingle keys, ooh look, a shiny rock, shiny rock. Like
Mhm.
distract. Like
Fetch boy. What? What? Ball. Ball.
yeah, squirrel.
Yeah.
Like
Oh shit.
yeah. Anyway, let's move on up here. Some more from Rebel News.
Let me
Kanye
see here.
West acquired a conservative, or to acquire conservative social media platform Parler. So this is interesting. I mean, like, I don't know what the hell to think about Kanye West. I got, I got warned in another Discord server last night for saying, like, I screw Kanye West, although I agree with his current actions, and I was referring to, his T-shirt thing. Apparently,
Oh,
since
that
then, though, he says anti-Semitic comments on Twitter. So I don't know what the fuck is going on anywhere.
who
Let's
knows what the hell is happening in that man's brain anyways,
if he has
and
one.
how much he's getting fucking paid for it.
Says here, Kanye West has announced that he plans to purchase Parler, the conservative social media platform dedicated to free speech. Parler and West made the announcement on Monday, stating they expect to finalize the acquisition by the end of 2022. West's purchases comes as the rapper and fashion designer found himself in hot water the past week following anti-Semitic comments, which saw his Instagram and Twitter accounts restricted, as well as his bank account canceling him. Um, West, yeah, like Chase kicked him out. West commented on the purchase, stating, quote, in a world where conservative opinions are considered controversial, we have to make sure we have the right to freely express ourselves, end quote. Parliament, Parliament Technologies CEO George Farmer said, quote, this deal will change the world and change the way the world thinks about free speech, end quote, Fox Business reported. So,
I know we're trying to move on this, but there was a question I had. Parlor was going under, wasn't it?
Parler was unfortunately utilizing Amazon's web hosting. Um, and
Mm.
I had a Parler account, but then Amazon not only deplatformed them, but they went into their central code and fucked everything up so hard that it is never coming back. It's never come back, and they have to restart the whole damn thing. They essentially killed it, and then they deplatformed it, so that way it would not even like have anything to stand on if it found another position, another platform like um, uh,
I mean, do you think
Alex Jones, what's his face, or
yeah.
um, Infowars, or if he they somehow went and joined with the Blaze with why can't I think of these people's name?
Glenn Beck.
Yeah, that guy. Thank you. Um, they just removed it, and it was like a fucking it was a savage attack, you know.
I wonder if they're going with like Bluehost because they're pretty open minded about who they let on their thing. Um, I went with Bluehost when I had my website up, and we were trying to start a libertarian kind of watch thing,
Yeah.
and they're pretty open minded. And because a lot of these hosting sites watch what's happening on your site, keywords, algorithms,
Oh
all that
yeah.
crap.
No, everything's being monitored. Everything's being recorded. Even if it's not being recorded, it's just being documented in one way or another.
Yeah,
Saved to some data bank. You know.
if they get a fucking warrant, if the Supreme Court or anybody gets a warrant, they can get in and look at any backlogs, any kind of yeah, it's crazy, dude.
It's frightening. Downward frightening. But anyway, let's move on here from Oddity Central. Woman dies after accidentally choking on her dentures. That's concerning.
I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry.
It's awful, but it's weird. Like, a 48-year-old Colombian woman died after allegedly swallowing and choking on her dental prosthesis while sleeping. Doctors
Oh
always,
well,
yeah, yeah. Doctors always recommend removing dentures at night to avoid any kind of accidents. A piece of advice that Maria Farias Guzman, a 48-year-old woman from Colombia's Armenia region, did not follow. The woman reportedly went to sleep with her dental prosthesis in her mouth, only to accidentally swallow it and become lodged in her throat somehow. Maria's family would later tell investigators that they heard unusual noises coming from the woman's room, so they decided to check on her, only to find that she wasn't breathing. So
that's sad.
that sucks.
I mean, I laughed and I apologized, but it just kind of took me back, like aback. I was
Yeah,
like,
well, no,
"What?"
like you weren't laughing out of malice. It's just like so weird. You're just like, what? That's
I get. It was one of those that clicked in my head. I can understand, like, forgetting to take your contacts out, but
oh, dude. Speaking of that, we actually did a story last week where an elderly woman just somehow like kept forgetting that she had contacts in her eye, and then she went in for like some eye exam or something, and the doctor removed no less than 25 contacts that had found their way like under and behind her eye and shit.
ah, dang. So she was just putting one after another in.
Yeah, and she was old, like, oh, I don't know where they went. Okay, I'll just put in another one. Like, so yeah,
Oh, wow,
yeah, that's
that's
wild.
crazy. That's weird, wild stuff, man. I
Hmm.
did not know that.
Yep. And more from Oddity Central. Man has been pulling out his own teeth for over a decade because he can't get a dentist appointment. Okay, let's wonder why. An English man recently shocked his whole country after claiming to have been pulling out his own teeth for over 10 years because he could never book an appointment, a dentist appointment. David Sargent,
Uh,
what?
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
David Sargent, a former butcher from Leeds in the United Kingdom, claimed that he had been forced to use pliers or his bare hands to pull out painful teeth due to being unable to see a professional dentist. The 50-year-old man said his financial situation makes it impossible to get private care, so he has had to get an appointment through the state-funded National Healthcare Service, or NHS, which hasn't really been working out too well. He has had to wait so long to see a dentist that he has pulled out several of his own teeth over the past decade. So,
I do actually have a comment on that because my buddy started getting a rare skin disease, which started affecting actually his cartilage and bones.
ooh,
So he actually lived here for years, under a visa with his mom. She moved back, and he moved back last year, I guess. But it took them almost a year to get him in to see him for their free healthcare system. It takes fucking forever.
Mm-hmm.
They said if he needed surgery, he'd be put on a list of like I think it was 15 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, the UK free healthcare can suck my ass, dude. And
Yeah. That's
I'm wondering if it goes that way in Canada. I don't think so. My buddy said it was pretty quick for him, but
well, actually, according to Little Miss Grimm, um, Canada healthcare sucks ass. Like,
yeah,
um,
it's not great, but they get you in.
not necessarily because like there's so many people they have to service. They can get you in, but you might have to wait a couple months. You know, like that's the
Yeah, but
problem.
yeah, not 15
Well,
for an emergency surgery.
yeah, that is true. Emergency surgery should kind of like get to the front of the list. Like get it done now. It's an
Yeah, like
emergency.
if you have appendicitis or you have a liver or a kidney, that should be like, hey, this dude needs to go before you get that hangnail pulled.
Yeah, this is a life or death situation. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, just talk to Grim. Because like she has a lot of stories about it. She takes care of a couple elderly people. So, but anyway, let's move on up here. Some more from Oddity Central. Body Heat, a dance floor that converts dancers' body heat to energy. An arts venue in Glasgow, Scotland, features an innovative dance floor that creates renewable energy from the body heat of dancers. SWG3 hosts some of Glasgow's largest dance parties, with thousands of people getting together to dance the night away throughout the year. Starting this month, the dancers won't just be burning energy by busting out moves, but also help keep it warm or cool, depending on the season. That's thanks to Body Heat, an aptly named dance floor that harnesses the body heat of dancers and converts it into energy. The innovative system has been 3 years in the making and is a joint project of SWG3 and geothermal energy startup Town Rock Energy. Let's see here if here we go. Town Rock Energy explained that body heat works by capturing the heat generated by dancers, which is usually transferred to the venue and pumping it into 12 boreholes approximately 500 feet deep. The boreholes lead to a large underground rock cube that acts as a battery, storing energy so it can be used to supply heat and hot water to the venue, so it cools the atmosphere by sucking all the body heat from it and heats it as necessary. Huh. This
That's
sounds like
actually that's actually how we because we don't get cold, well, we don't get cold, like north gets cold and we just get hot. So during the winter our a lot of the newer systems are use thermal energy with geothermal, excuse me. So a lot of the HVAC, like when it gets cold here, it just uses the heat from the ground and pumps it into your house.
dude, have you heard about what they're doing in I think Norway? Like
Uh,
one of those Nordic European countries. Um,
yeah,
like they have like all those that geothermal energy and everything. Um,
right,
they've actually made greenhouses, that utilizes the like exhaust and stuff because it's just water, you know,
right.
like, and they grow bananas up in the Arctic in
That's a
greenhouses with geothermal coming up from the ground and just keeping everything nice and toasty.
so they get some tropical fruit.
Yeah,
That's cool.
they're
So
growing.
they get technically oranges and everything then.
Yeah, no, like let's see if I can find it. Like let's see here, Google bananas in Norway. I think
That'd be
uh,
a cool name for a band.
bananas in Norway. Yeah. Um, hold on a second. Hold on. Uh,
I've actually heard of what you're talking about. I heard about the actual greenhouses that they're using, but
Iceland. That's even more. Like holy shit.
yeah, Iceland has a lot of those what's it called, doesn't it?
Volcanoes.
They're like geysers, but it's just
Oh,
it's like kind of sulfur things like in Arkansas.
Um,
that just produces steam
oh,
and
just
heat.
fissures and such.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna read this story here real quick. Just
Okay.
despite the harsh climate of Iceland, bananas have been growing in the country for over 50 years thanks to geothermal energy. So this isn't anything new. Like that's crazy.
Look how big that is, though. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, like that's just one facility. Like
Yeah. No shit.
like there's probably a lot of plants out there. Iceland is a big country, so. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on up here to from the mirror. We
Oh,
have.
look, it's Dave Chappelle. What's he doing?
That's not Dave Chappelle. Uh, no, this is kind of a little sad story here. Disabled woman trapped in rat and mold infested flats say, "quote We can't take this anymore." End quotes. Disabled woman living with rats, mold, and damp say that they have been discriminated against by their social housing landlord. Cardison Gallardo and Shyla Lewis are both wheelchair users and claim um, they have been battling to get repairs done, which has left them feeling in fear for their lives. Mum of two, Kardashian, was forced to call the London Fire Brigade after water began streaming down her kitchen walls as she worried she would be electrocuted. However, the tenant, who lives in Gordon Court or Goodrich Court, North Kingston or Kensington in London, says she called her landlord L&Q and was told there was nothing they could do. Yeah, it just goes on like there's just sad, tragic. Nobody should have to live in such conditions, especially a disabled person. They have enough to deal with already. So
Yeah, we talk a lot as libertarians about you know a socialist society, but if it's elderly people that can't help themselves, I do believe the government should get involved and be like, "Hey, dude, you need to get this shit like on track."
yeah, well, like everything the centralized government does, they could give the power back to the states. There's very few things the government, the federal government, the central government really needs to stick their finger into. Everything
Yeah.
else could be handled by the states. Like we were talking yesterday about a Department of Transportation signed in, I think, by Lyndon B. Johnson. Um, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And then Dad's like, no, like we don't need a centralized form of that. And I'm just like, that's true. Because things are different from state to state. Like you can have like a unifying, thing for like speed limits and how to act on the road, but like a bus driver in California is going to drive a whole lot different than a bus driver in like Wichita. You know,
Yeah.
so like leave it up to the states. And earlier today, like we were talking about a Department of Education, like put it back in the states. Like the state should have all the power, and there we go. Like for what you just said right there, taking care of the elderly, like in California, we got to worry about water consumption, power, all that stuff.
Yeah, you guys are having a lot of problems right now with
Oh,
that.
don't even get me started, my friend. Like,
I don't want to because that'll
God.
be a 2-hour conversation.
Yeah, and that's the footnotes.
Yeah, that's reading the fucking introduction.
That's the what's the essay helper like something notes
Yeah,
cliff notes
the
the
Cliff Notes. Yeah,
yeah
like if you're gonna read a book, what's it called on the back?
oh
That kind of tells you what the book's about.
what's it called the
Yeah.
uh hold on, this is bothering me now.
Yeah,
like
I
the
hate
description
brain farting. The what?
description.
Yeah, it's a description, but there's an actual name for it.
Yeah, I know the word. I'm gonna be like an idiot.
Book blurb.
Book blurb. I never heard that. I
Yeah.
was thinking about a different word.
Yeah, there's an actual it's just book description. We'll just go with
Yeah,
that. Fuck it.
like
This isn't something we need to spend 2 hours on either.
but it's gonna bother me. So let's wait. Anyway, let's move on. More from the mirror. McDonald's fans shaken after learning what sweet and sour sauce is made from. Here we go again. Like as if pink slime wasn't the bad enough. A number of McDonald's fans have been left astonished after realizing the fast food chain sweet and sour sauce contains what some have blasted as the worst fruit to exist. Evan May Gillott, of 27, claimed to have been left shaken after finding out that her favorite sauce contained fruits, having never even so much as associated the condiment with fruit. Okay, why is this such a big deal?
Is the fruit bad for you?
Well, I think just the a thought of fruit being in the sauce. It's like, dude,
Oh my God!
tomatoes are a fruit. They're like
I think they changed them back to a vegetable.
I don't. Let me look at this up now. Appendix, by the way, is that what you're thinking about? The appendix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, that's where you find certain things in like the yeah.
Is tomato a fruit? Let's see here. Tomatoes are fruits that are considered vegetables by nutritionists. Botanically, a fruit is a ripened flower ovary and contains seeds. Tomatoes, plums, zucchinis, and melons are also edible fruits, but things like maple helicopters and floating dandelion puffs are fruits too. So,
Okay, tomato, Pluto.
well, I mean, like, dude, when you start getting into botany, discussions, I mean, the banana is classified technically as a berry. Like, peanuts are not nuts; they're legumes. Nothing is everything. Your life is a lie. Everybody's gonna die. Fuck it.
Did you take the red pill or the blue pill?
Both at the same time. I'm purple.
Oh, purple.
Purple.
I can taste purple.
I can see the color one.
Is that on the spectrum?
Be not afraid. Moving on up from UPI, man holds 150 lit candles in his mouth for Guinness World Record. Good Lord.
What a stupid record.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Well, if anybody actually gives a crap about this, the link is in the underbar. I'm not going to give this any more reading because some of these records are just dumb. Like, they really are. It's like, okay, cool, but really, what's it doing? You have a big old mouth that can be used for other things other than holding candles. Good job.
I can think of a couple of things that big mouth could be used for.
Yeah, I know. I was going to go tell him to go work at Chippendales or something. Anyway, more from UPI. Patient plays saxophone while undergoing brain surgery in Italy. Well, this is wild.
I mean, that's actually not that hard. You don't feel the fucking with your brain.
Yeah, and aren't you awake when they do it too? Like, I've heard that.
And every case scenario that I've seen them playing with people's brains, they want them awake.
Yeah.
Because they usually want to see what they can make move and shit like that. They can touch something and make your hand do shit, and
kind of like that scene out of the second Renaissance Part 2 from the Matrix Revolutions, when all the robots were poking the brains and finding out the responses in order to build the Matrix. So.
Yeah, which was totally debunked that the human body doesn't put off enough electricity to fucking charge anything. So.
Yeah. So.
They made it seem like in fact, there was a case study that some fluke doctor said that your body could power a city. And doctors were like, you're an idiot.
Well, so much for the last reason why robots would even keep us around. But then again, if that wasn't a viable reason, then would we have won the war?
To be honest, they would just have us as slaves to mine lithium and shit like that.
Probably. Anyway, it says here, doctors in Italy shared details of a recent delicate brain surgery during which patient remained awake and playing the saxophone. Paideia International Hospital in Rome said in a news release that the 35-year-old patient, identified as GZ, was kept awake and playing his saxophone during the 9-hour surgery to remove a tumor from his brain. Doctors said the musical performance allowed the surgeons to map the different functions of the brain as they operated. Quote, awake surgery makes it possible to map with extreme precision during surgery the neuronal networks that underlie the various brain functions such as playing, speaking, moving, remembering, counting, in quotes by Dr. Christian Brogna, who led the surgery team, said in the release. So yeah,
Exactly what I said.
that's what
They
you said.
wanted. But imagine, I don't mind the saxophone, but if he's off and on for 9 hours doing that shit, I would fucking shoot myself.
No, I think he played the whole time.
Fuck you.
So I wonder if this is the famous Italian saxophonist I've seen on YouTube. He does a lot of covers with a saxophone. So, um, but yeah. Anyway, let's move on up to our last story here from Weird Universe: the Hat Gun. And I'm not sure.
Yes!
Yep. It's just a hat with a cannon on it. Um,
Imagine your
Detachable
head.
spike port for removing shells. Ah, okay. So
That
that's a
thing would-
breach.
Dude, you gotta have a strong ass. You gotta have fucking like a massive neck. I'm talking like fucking all these wrestlers and fucking weightlifters.
You gotta
That
basically
fucking
be
thing
built
was-
like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, your neck would just snap with that size fucking caliber. Look how big the barrel is.
Yeah, see, like, I'm looking at this, it says, a peaceful looking hat. How the fuck does that look peaceful? Like, you have a muzzle coming out, and then you have something coming down that's like a sight. Like, what's with the hat? Like, no.
Yeah, I would literally look at this guy and go, "Hey, dude, you just take that gun off your head, please."
No, it's just like, like you go to shake his hand, like, oh, don't look at me, just like, finger the barrel away, don't look at me, I'm an introvert, please don't look at me, no eye contact, please.
Yeah. God damn, what an idiotic thing to build.
I know.
We
right?
built some stupid shit. I'm serious. The desk gun,
Oh, yeah.
what the fuck? It shot one round that wouldn't even kill you.
Yeah. Well, I think it is a safe place to end the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may be interested in, which includes but not limited to all things Omni Coalition, as well as all the links to the articles we've read. For your dose of different, odd, and otherwise unknown news, we stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, which is what your time?
2 p.m., 2 hours, 4.
Yep, 4 p.m. his time, or Central Time. For
Central
all of you
Time,
and all of
excuse
us, I am Xander.
And I am Carrera. Thank you for listening to my bull S.
And you, viewer, of course, are you. And until you catch us Wednesday, or if you're into history, you can catch us tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning for This Date in History, TDH. Anyway, whatever you so wish, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!
Later!